Today, we're taking our first steps into nomadic life.
We're going shopping!
We're not going shopping.
Say what?
Ha, just kidding.
Love, you better believe it.
In our efforts to live a simple life, we decided to live in an RV full time.
And so the research began. This is what we learned. There are 7 types of RVs: motorhome A, B, and C, fifth wheel, travel trailer, truck, and pop-up camper.
Alright, let's get explaining in no particular order. Number 1, motorhomes, Class A. They are the most expensive. And not to mention, you only get about 8 to 13 miles per gallon. Also, when your vehicle is your home, if something goes wrong, like the radiator or a hose, you lose both at the same time. Most likely, the price would keep us away from buying one of these type of vehicles. But what really took motorhome Class A's out of consideration for us right away was a lack of safety for the passengers. Inside the cabins, things can move around. If a latch malfunctions, there's nothing stopping the contents from hitting you. And in the case of an accident, more than often, there are no airbags.
What we found to be the upside of these types of RVs is that they are very easy to drive. They have a ton of storage space, and when you arrive at a location, you don't have to hook up or unhook from a secondary vehicle. That way you don't have to worry about anybody stealing your home.
Continuing with motorhomes, we have Class Bs. Class Bs are built on a standard cargo chassis. Class Bs are priced between $40 to $100K on average, with the coach being about the average size of a van. You have a lot more maneuverability and way more parking options available to you. Gas mileage runs between mid to high teens.
The cons are about the same across motorhomes in all 3 classes, except for the addition of airbags.
Now into our last class of motorhomes, Class C. Class C motorhomes are your Winnebagos, your Coachmans, your leisure travel vans. Typically, they have a Murphy bed style or slides. They are moderately priced between $50 to $100K. And the fuel range is about 17 to 22 gallons on average.
Truck campers and pop-up campers are not typically suitable for full-timers, so we have not dove too deep into these types. Also, because our sole purpose for moving into a trailer was to be mobile, we did not include park nor destination models. If you would like to hear more about them or to hear a more in-depth breakdown of the pros and cons on all types of recreational vehicles, leave us a comment below.
On the fifth wheels, one of the major cons for us was the price tag, as you can see in the pictures. Also, we would need a more precise tow vehicle to pull all the weight. And typically, the living quarters are off limits during towing. And the last con, the fifth wheels tend to have a higher height rating, so clearance can be an issue while towing.
The pros for fifth wheels are that they are more stable when towing. When the wind blows, you don't have to worry about the back of the fifth wheel flowing into the other lane. They have more luxurious features, larger spaces, and they feel more homey. there are more floor plans available, and you have the option to tow a second vehicle behind a fifth wheel. The cons for a travel trailer, if it has a bathroom at all, is pretty small. Mostly everything in a travel trailer is going to be smaller than a fifth wheel. Backing can be difficult because you're using one box to push another, and the tail swing on those things are crazy. The turning radius will definitely take some practice. Safety from thieves is a bit on the low side of the spectrum because of the thin walls and locking mechanisms. Someone could just hook up to your trailer and drive away with it.
Now on to pros of a travel trailer. The vehicle that we need to tow a travel trailer was more in our price range, and we wouldn't have to do a bunch of modifications to tow a travel trailer. The typical cost of a travel trailer ranges from $10,000 to $50,000, but the luxury can range from $75,000 to over $100,000. But the maintenance overall is lower on average.
So with all these things considered and weighing out the facts, along with the lifestyle that we want to live, everything pointed us towards, drum roll, a travel trailer.
Yes, but we would need a middle to large size travel trailer, because half of these travel trailers weren't meant for someone of my stature.
Oh, no worry, babes, you're my big guy.
So Toya, with her major research skills, found a travel trailer that met all of our requirements and some things we hadn't even thought about. The trailer that we settled on has 7-foot ceilings and a shower that I could stand up in. We chose a G.O.O.D Eagle travel trailer, but of course we ran into another problem, the price tag. But once again, Toya to the rescue. Her research paid off, and so we're on our way to Michigan.
So G.O.O.D and I'll say Winnebago right here. The nice thing about those two brands is there's name recognition.
Okay.
So no matter, you can know nothing about campers, and you've heard the name Winnebago or G.O.O.D before. Where when we get into like Apex, people are like, I've never heard of Apex. What is that? Oh, it's made by Coachman. Oh, I don't know. But there's a few brands that are always going to have that brand recognition, like G.O.O.D and Winnebago. The other side of that coin, they cost a little bit more money. On the Winnebago, you're paying for that pretty W on the side. On the G.O.O.D, you're paying for the nice birds.
That's funny.
So they're going to hold their value better. Is it a good investment like a house? Oh, hell no. It's more of an investment like a car.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna finance it, the bank treats it more like a house. Where like on a car, banks will kind of subsidize you, and you go zero down on a car.
Now, the Cougar next to it.
Fifth wheel?
I was just looking at it.
You need a small fifth wheel for the Ram. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
There's a whole line that are what are called half-ton tows.
Mm.
So there's a line of them where you recommend it.
Well, fifth wheel is always going to tow better because your turning point is right over your axle instead of hanging off the rear of your bumper. I'm going to be honest with you, the Ram is not a great tow vehicle.
What?
And I'm going to tell you why. It's pretty, it rides great, but it rides great because it's got coil springs on the back of it. So this is the 280, so this is a little bit shorter.
Oof. It's 8,000
Oh.
and a little bit over. What do you think? You think you can live in one like this? Look, my feet touch the ground.
That's good.
So yeah, it's all going to be the same build, same features, just a little bit smaller, a little bit lighter weight.
Well,
Will probably pair with your Ram better. So in the Ram, in the back, over the rear axle, instead of leaf springs, which I'll show you on that Chevy sitting out there, which is our sales manager's truck, you have what are called coil springs. So the coil springs don't hold as much weight, but they ride better. The leaf springs will hold more weight, but it won't ride well until there's a load on it.
Okay.
So a leaf spring truck might be a little bit more bouncy because there's no weight in the back, but as soon as you put weight in the back, then it'll ride better. A Ram with the coil springs just rides better, but less payload.
Now we're on our way home. And I know what you're thinking. Why would you two crazies drive 20 hours for a trailer if you don't know if you can bring it home? Well, purchasing an ARV is quite similar to the purchase of a home, so the paperwork is quite extensive.
coupled with that fact, we never buy something sight unseen. These are good enough reasons, but by making a weekend trip out of this, we was able to spend more time in the trailer. Another reason is that we could let a good amount of time pass to know if this trailer would really fit into the lifestyle that we're trying to lead. And the top reason
It's because we like pulling up on you. Drop that country heat.
Pull up on you at the red light, homie. Throw some bone thugs on and make you lose change jump. Telling boys come and get